You know, a couple hours ago, or maybe an hour ago, I called this the Austin Dillon hat after he threw his helmet at Tyler Reddick. Now, I think it's the Kyle Larson hat. Denny Hamlin has 2 wins this year in the NASCAR Cup Series, one at Kansas and now one at Pocono. Both have come at the expense of Kyle Larson. Larson and Hamlin were battling for the win on the last lap at Kansas when Hamlin kind of misjudged slash had something, I can't remember the exact thing if he misjudged it or they both kind of just wrong place, wrong time, and Hamlin accidentally clipped the back of Larson's car. Larson hit the wall. Hamlin went on to win. Today, with about 10 to go, not a lot of laps to go, Hamlin and Larson were on the front row. Larson controlled the restart. Hamlin got a really good restart. And into turn 1, Hamlin was just a nose ahead of Larson, and he ran him up the track, made contact with his door, and as a result, Larson couldn't control his car and door slammed the wall. And Hamlin went on, and then there was a big wreck behind him. Larson had damage that dropped him like a rock on the following restart. And it ruined Larson's day, and Hamlin once again went on to win. This is the second straight year that Denny Hamlin has controversially run someone into the wall. Last year, though, as Kyle Larson stated in his post-race interview, last year was a little bit more deserving. Last year, Hamlin did copy-paste this incident 365 days ago. That's exactly what he did to Ross Chastain, but Ross Chastain had wrecked him a couple of times. Denny Hamlin owed him a few, to say the least. And so Hamlin did it in the subtlest way possible. By subtlest, I mean not right rearing him or anything or intentional or sending it to dump him. He ran him into the wall. This one, though, Larson didn't do anything to really provoke this. Larson and Hamlin haven't had on-track incidents much outside of the Kansas incident. They usually race each other clean. They're friends off the track. That doesn't really have to do with anything on the track. But, they're a little bit more respectful to each other than, I don't know, two people who don't hang out together or something. But there was no real motivation. And then the radio talk came in. And Chris Gabehart started, talking crap about Larson, saying, "Oh, he does this all the time. Oh, he races like that. It's fine. He deserves it." And then Hamlin's like, "I gave him space." And then after the race, Hamlin's defending himself, saying that I didn't touch him. I didn't put him in the wall. He missed the turn. Denny might want to see that replay because, you did make contact. Your hood flaps went up in the air. And, you were the reason that Larson hit the wall. It wasn't, technically it was dirty. Yes. It wasn't intentional, I don't think. But Denny, you're at fault. That was your fault, buddy. You ran him up the track. You put him in the wall. Larson was pretty pissed off afterwards, showed up under the caution and door slammed him at the start-finish line. And, so it got really spicy between Hamlin and Larson, and then the words after the race, not directly to each other, but to the TV, and now that is public access, thanks to the internet, I guess. Hamlin had said, things happen, whatnot. And then also, as I said earlier, he said, he missed the turn. I didn't hit him. He was defending himself. And then Larson's like, "Oh, he hit me. He put me in the wall. I don't know why he races me so dirty, but I didn't deserve it." And then they asked him, do you have to race him different now that he's done this to you a couple times this season? He said, "I guess I have to." So if we see Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin fighting for the win next week at Richmond, Larson might play dirty. Hamlin's played dirty twice with him this year, putting him in the wall twice and fighting for the win. And now Larson essentially can repay the favor. No, it wasn't as bad as what Chastain did to Hamlin. He didn't ruin his day completely. Well, he ruined his day completely today. Kansas, Larson still went on to finish second, but Larson, once again, race-winning speed, another great run, but can't quite close the deal due to things out of his control. Hamlin, that's Hamlin's fault if you ask me. But Denny Hamlin wins at Pocono for the second straight year. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wrong. Last year, of course, if you remember, was the famous tape incident where there was tape on... I don't have my tape in here. Oh, yes, I do. There was some... tape, I don't know if it was actually duct tape, but there was some tape on Denny Hamlin's car and Kyle Busch's car. They were both disqualified, and Chase Elliott was declared the winner. NASCAR has an opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time. Imagine if it happens again. He does the same thing where he runs someone into the wall to win, and then he gets disqualified again. It would be pretty funny. Even if you're a Denny Hamlin fan, you got to be pretty funny. But now he is unofficially ahead of Jeff Gordon on the all-time wins list at Pocono, much to my pain as a Jeff Gordon fan. But he knows the track. He does really well there. So good for him. There was so much that happened in this race. I only watched the second half. The first half, as you heard in my last video, I was on the road on a road trip coming back from that. But it seemed like a really good race. I enjoyed it from what I watched. But you guys need to let me know. What did you think of the race itself? Tell me what you thought of the racing, the first half of the race, all the chaos with the Larson wreck, the spins, like 4 straight cautions, the span of like 2 green flag laps. But yeah, let's look at the results. I'm kind of in the process of moving. I don't have my rolly chair, so I got to stand up here, move this non-rolly chair. Oh, look at that. Ended up working out where I'm standing. Denny Hamlin is your winner. As I said, his second win of the year at the expense of Kyle Larson. Playoff points, record-breaking win. If he passes inspection, of course. He's got to pass inspection. Tyler Reddick finishes second, had fresher tires there at the end, played the strategy card a bit, led some laps thanks to the strategy, but was able to get up front. Finishes second to his team owner. Good run for him. Martin Truex Jr. finishes third, top 3 most of the day. Led some laps there for a bit. Did a really good job all day long, but of course the win is what matters. He needs those playoff points. But today was a great day in terms of his fight for the regular season championship as he finished third. Byron finished 14th. Fourth place, Kevin Harvick, really good run for him. Another top 5 run, his last race at Pocono, and he ends up finishing in the top 5, expands his playoff cutoff advantage. And he was contending for the win there at the end when the whole Hamlin-Larson incident went down. Ty Gibbs with a really strong top 5, and he's on the playoff bubble, so that is a huge day for him. I think he got some stage points as well. Very big day for the 54 team. We expected Toyota and Gibbs to be good here, and it showed. 3 of those cars in the top 5 and all 4 in the top 6, as you can see here. Christopher Bell in 6th place. Toyota, JGR, always good at Pocono. Whether it's Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and, you know, as we see here, all 4 in the top 6. Their best race as a collective group, I would say, this year. So really good for JGR. 7th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. played the strategy card, but was able to stay up there late. Had a bad last restart, but was able to come back, finish 7th. Harrison Burton 8th, also on that strategy card, along with 9th place Eric Jones, but they both were able to hold on. Had some good restarts there at the end. Both finished in the top 10. 10th place, Chase Elliott didn't score any stage points today. If he did, it was only a couple. But he gets a top 10. I don't know what the playoff bubble is looking like right now, but I would assume it is almost a must-win for Chase Elliott. Not mathematically, but just theoretically, I guess. But solid day, I guess. The defending winner finishes 10th. 11th place, Bubba Wallace. He's on the bubble as well. Solid finish for him. I believe he got stage points as well. Eric Almirola, 12th. Chastain, 13th. Byron, 14th. Todd Gilliland, 15th. Good job, Todd. Brad Keselowski, 16th. AJ Allmendinger, 17th. He got some stage points. He's on that bubble as well. 18th, Chris Buescher. 19th, Michael McDowell got some stage points as well. Kyle Larson, 20th. It feels like he should have more than 2 wins this year, whether it's Kansas, whether it's today at Pocono. I'm sure there are multiple instances that I'm forgetting that he could have had wins, but Larson's been running well all year long, and it just seems like the wildest things keep him from winning. Today was yet another, and once again it was Denny Hamlin. I think he has every right to be pissed off at Hamlin. He has every right to get back at Hamlin. Obviously, you can't do what like Chase Elliott did to Hamlin or like what Bubba did to Larson. But, you know, like if you're fighting for the win next week, bump and run a little bit more aggressively than the average person, or, you know, pinch him into the wall or spin him out. I don't know. Just, you know, just don't intentionally right hook him or something. But Larson, he's got one coming for Hamlin. I just don't know when. I wonder if he's going to do what Hamlin did with Chastain. Threaten to do it all year and then lose on the Hail Melon. Yeah, that'd be something. Kyle Busch, 21st. Ooh, was he relevant at all today? Someone tell me in the comments. I didn't see him all day. 22nd, Noah Gregson. 23rd, Austin Cindric. 24th, Alex Bowman on the bubble. Was up in the top 5, top 10 the majority of the time I was watching the race. And late in this one, he just spun out. Denny Hamlin was right behind him. Denny Hamlin, I've been crapping on him a lot in this video. He did not touch Alex Bowman in this instance. No contact was made. Hamlin was in the clear for this one. Maybe the air got disturbed, but that's not Hamlin's fault. And Bowman just lost it and spun out. Ruined his day. He ends up 24th. Ever since he's got hurt, it's been a disaster. They were leading the points for a good chunk of the first part of the season. Then he got hurt. And now they're almost in a must-win. It's crazy how that injury just absolutely flipped their season. Yeah, they're going to have to win, probably. I'll look at the point standings after this. 25th, Cole Custer. 26th, J.J. Yaley. 27th, Corey LaJoie. 28th, Ty Dillon. Who did he wreck? He wrecked Chase Briscoe there to make this race interesting at the end, and it almost looked intentional. His teammate was leading. We almost had a crash gate there. 29th, Chase Briscoe, speaking of. 30th, Ryan Blaney. He was up in the top 5, but had a driveline issue, I believe. 31st, Ryan Preece. Oh, my God. How could I forget this? Ryan Preece just spins out with a lap and a half to go. And earlier in the race, when Christopher Bell did this, they called the caution like almost immediately. This one, they waited half a lap for him to get to the white flag. And then they said, actually, we're going to let you keep going. By the time they get to the tunnel turn is when they throw the caution. So I don't know why they didn't call the caution there, to be honest. Like, I would have thrown the caution personally. Like, he's parked on the racetrack. He's spun. Like, it made no sense why they didn't call the caution. They called that all day from what I saw with it. It was Austin Dillon. Well, Austin Dillon wrecked a little bit harder. But when Christopher Bell spun, just did a little 360 and got it back going, they called the caution pretty quick. But when Priest did it with a lap and a half to go, they waited until the leaders were back there. So don't understand that call. BJ McLeod, 32nd. 33rd, Justin Haley, hard crash. Hope he's okay. 34th, Austin Dillon, hard crash. I hope he's okay too, but oh my goodness, he threw his helmet at Reddick. It was kind of pathetic. 35th, Joey Logano won stage 1 and then wrecked him and Daniel Suarez. And Daniel Suarez is on that playoff cutoff line. Ugh, disaster of a day after stage 1 to be out of this race and to finish last. So, yeah, let's see if these playoff standings are here yet. All right, here is your playoff standings. Oh, my. It's interesting. We already knew Harvick, Keselowski, Buescher, they're way out there. But last week, it was like a 1 to 2 point difference at the cutoff line. This week, Bubba Wallace, plus 26. Great day for him. Michael McDowell now 17 above. Allmendinger 17 below. Daniel Suarez went from, 1 point above or 1 point below, one of those, to 23 below, finishing last. A brutal blow. Ty Gibbs puts himself back in the points picture. He was about 42, 43 behind, now up to 28 behind with that top 5 finish. And Alex Bowman, what could have been, as I said earlier, now 20th, 45 points behind. Not 100% sure. I know a lot of you are probably wondering where Chase Elliott is on that list. I'm going to try to see if I can find it here. I don't see anything yet, but I may do a community post showing you the full standings. But what a race at Pocono. It was a really fun race. I enjoyed it. Once again, only saw the second half of it, but what I heard on the radio, it sounded entertaining, sounded fun. The racing itself was good. Passing was possible. Multiple lines, and you had some controversy and some drama in there. I'd say a solid 9 out of 10 for this race. I enjoyed it. I really did, but man, if it's like last year, I'll be back in about an hour for that post-race inspection video. I doubt it. I don't think it'll happen again, but you never know. But yes, 1 year ago, the famous disqualification happened. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And I hope you have a great day, morning, evening, wherever you're watching this thing. We got Richmond next week. That'll be a fun one.